sleep. Yeah, nah.
Somehow we're playing on these TikToks still looking at things.
Like, her feet so motherfucking crispy and harsh. Well, let me see if I got.
Oh, what they do? What they do?
So what's good, TMG fam? It's Well, and I'm.
Leave no sale behind with the world's best converting checkout from Shopify. Say goodbye to abandoned carts and hello to cha-ching.
So what's good, TMG fam? It's Well, and I'm back with another reaction. How y'all feel? Welcome back to this channel. Salute. And yes, every time I watch Jurassic Park, I feel like I'm an archaeologist. And I want to do some digging and find some dinosaurs. So I go searching for videos of I can't never say that word. Archaeologists making discoveries. I go searching for those type of videos, and here I have one. So we're gonna get into it.
Archaeologists have discovered a huge ancient city hidden underground in Mexico, which may give a better understanding of the Maya civilization.
The idea of uncovering an ancient tomb sends shivers down my spine, but knowing that a perfectly untouched Mayan tomb has just been opened, that's beyond thrilling.
When I studied carefully the last days of Cleopatra, I realized it was the beginning of a religious act that might end up with her being buried in a temple and her lost tomb could be found.
I'm talking about a discovery.
I often think about that too. Like, should we be leaving these tombs alone? Like, I know I've said it before, but just the scariness of opening and what you could release. And maybe they want to rest in peace. You know, the whole rest in peace thing? You know, just a thought.
So rare and mysterious that even experts struggle to make sense of it. Hidden artifacts, cryptic symbols, and secrets buried for centuries.
The blaze
This
out.
find could rewrite everything we know about the ancient Mayans. Let me take it back a bit to 2022. Archaeologist Francisco Estrada Belli from Tulane University, along with his intrepid team, stumbled upon a jaw-dropping discovery just 6 feet away from where looters had called it quits. Nestled in Xochitlan, Guatemala, they unearthed an untouched tomb that wasn't just any old resting place. It belonged to a high-ranking Maya priest or king named Wati and dated back a whopping 1,700 years to around 350 CE. Now, if you think finding an ancient tomb is cool, consider this. Inside were treasures that would make any history buff's heart skip a beat. We're talking about a mosaic jade mask that shimmers with the wisdom of ages, over 16 spondylus shells. Those are spiny oyster shells that were the ancient Maya's equivalent of designer labels.
See, that's what it is. It's the thrill of the find, the catch. You know? You ever sit in your house and think, or maybe it's just me, I'm crazy, but I like look in my backyard and I'll be like, man, I wonder if something's buried in my backyard underground of some significant value. Something. I do, man. I'll just look back there and I'll just stare out there. I know if the missus walked past me, I know she think I'm crazy, but I was like, man, I wonder what's underground. And should I just one day just get out there and start digging?
And even human femur bones, carved with the kind of artistry that makes you wonder about the hands that crafted them. One of these bones even had the profile of, presumably, King Wati himself, clutching a jade mask similar to the one found alongside him. And, as if the finds themselves weren't enough to write home about, the hieroglyphs etched on these artifacts were like a gossip column from the past. They dished out details on Wati's lineage, connecting him to the big shot Maya cities of Tikal and Teotihuacan. According to Estrada Belli, snagging this tomb was a bit like winning the lottery in terms of information. And honestly, who could disagree? It's like peeking through a keyhole into an era that's mostly a mystery, giving us the juicy details on Maya religious practices and royal successions during the early classic period. This tomb raid, the good kind, wasn't just luck. It was made possible by some pretty slick tech called LIDAR, which lets you spot hidden goodies under the jungle canopy. This is the same tech that revealed the looters' old tunnels, leading the team right to Wati's untouched time capsule. The artifacts found are now under careful study, promising to spill even more ancient secrets.
Now, the beauty of things to come is going to be the technology that is built in the future, maybe near future, maybe distant future, I don't know. But the technology that's going to come and be able to put the puzzle pieces together a lot faster, a lot more clear than we've been able to do thus far. Not taking credit of how far we've come, because we've come very far, but imagine what technology is going to do and be able to show us, like you said, peeking through the keyhole of the past. Imagine what you're going to be able to see or realize or understand about the past that is going to put that puzzle together for us, man. That's some of the things that keep people up at night. Like, it's going to get crazy here soon.
Switching continents and centuries, let's zip back to 1939, when French archaeologist Pierre Montet was poking around Tanis, an ancient city in Egypt's Nile Delta. On a cool February day, the 27th to be precise, Montet and his team stumbled upon a stone-blocked underground chamber. What they found inside was nothing short of a time capsule, decorated limestone rooms filled with the stone sarcophagi of ancient Egyptian bigwigs. It was a jackpot moment, but this was just the beginning. As they moved on to mid-March, the team hit the archaeological jackpot again. They uncovered another tomb, this one untouched and sealed up like a vintage wine bottle. Inside was Pharaoh Susenis I, who ruled over Egypt more than 3,000 years ago. Unlike the tombs you hear about in all those mummy movies, thieves hadn't touched this one. The treasures inside were pristine and dazzling. Now, here's where it gets even shinier. The highlight was a coffin made entirely of solid silver. Imagine that. Silver was a bigger deal in ancient Egypt than gold. since it had to be imported. That's how Susenezai got his flashy nickname, the Silver Pharaoh. But that's not all. When they lifted the lid of this luxurious coffin, there lay a gold mask adorned with lapis lazuli and glass inlays, staring back at them with all the serenity of the ages. The tomb was also a treasure trove of jewelry, necklaces, bracelets, rings all crafted in gold and silver, along with amulets and small statues that showcased the exquisite craftsmanship of the time. These finds didn't just sparkle, they provided a deep dive into ancient Egypt's rich culture and wealth. This discovery remains one of the grand slams in the world of archaeology, shedding light on a period of Egyptian history that was as dusty and obscure as the chambers they unearthed. And guess what? If you ever find yourself in Cairo, swing by the Egyptian Museum. You'll get to see these treasures in person. And yes, they're guaranteed to knock your socks off. But wait, there's more. In December 2018, just when you thought Egypt had given up all its secrets, along comes a team led by the intrepid Mustafa Waziri. They were at the Saqqara necropolis, just a hop, skip, and a jump south of Cairo when they stumbled upon something that'd make any history buff's heart skip a beat. A completely untouched tomb dating back a whopping 4,400 years to the 5th dynasty. Yep, that's the era of the pharaoh Nefertari. The man of the hour, or, let's be honest, millennia, was a high-ranking priest named Wati. This guy wasn't just any old priest. He was a big deal back in the day, and his tomb is like a time capsule from ancient Egypt. Stretching about 33 feet long and 10 feet wide, it's decked out with vibrant paintings and intricate sculptures that have stood the test of time without losing a hint of their swagger. The art inside? Absolutely stunning. It shows Wati hanging out with his family, his mum, Merit Meen, his wife, Gorektar, and his 4 kids, 3 bustling boys and 1 darling daughter. These wall paintings are more than just decor. They're a peek into the daily life of a man who was both a family guy and a societal heavyweight. Now, here's where it gets even more Indiana Jones. Inside the tomb, the archaeologists found 5 shafts. One of these was wide open and sadly empty, but the other 4 sealed tight as a drum, untouched since the days when pharaohs ruled the roost. The team was buzzing with excitement, hoping these hidden shafts might hold Wati's sarcophagus or some other juicy artifacts. And the scenes painted across the tomb's walls, they're like a comic strip of ancient Egyptian life. You've got musical concerts, boat sailing expeditions, craftsmen making furniture, and even potters spinning their wheels. It's a full-on visual guide to what mattered in Wati's world, showcasing everything from his professional duties to the cultural vibes of the time. The big reveal of Wati's tomb wasn't just another day at the office for these archaeologists. It was hailed as one of the most significant finds in recent memory. Why? Because this pristine tomb was a goldmine of information, giving scholars a rare, unfiltered look at ancient Egypt's art, culture, and society during a fascinating period. Jump to 1922, and we hit another jackpot in...
And see, that's something I'm waiting on. I'm waiting on us to crack a code of something that shows how advanced they were back then. Oh my God, I live for that moment to happen. Because everybody just automatically assumes they were slow, they didn't have, they were dumb, for lack of a better word, is the way that people look at them as like, they look at every person from the past, or every civilization from the past is pretty much like dumb cavemen. Nothing. Like, no, they were very, very till they crack those codes and prove it to them.
In Egypt's Valley of the Kings, British archaeologist Howard Carter, backed by the passionate and deep-pocketed Lord Carnarvon, unearthed the nearly intact tomb of the boy Pharaoh Tutankhamun, who had ruled Egypt over 3,300 years earlier. And let me tell you, this was no small discovery. It was like finding the hidden level in a video game that's packed with bonus points. Howard Carter had been digging around Egyptian soil since the late 19th century, but his big break came when he teamed up with Lord Carnarvon, a British nobleman who was as obsessed with Egyptian antiques as a cat with a laser pointer. Lord Carnarvon didn't just offer moral support, he bankrolled Carter's digs. This dynamic duo got the green light to start excavating in the Valley of the Kings in 1914. Despite years of finding pretty much zilch, Carter was convinced that Tutankhamun's resting place was just waiting to be uncovered. Fast forward to November 4th, 1922. Carter's team was clearing out some debris by another tomb's entrance when they stumbled upon a step carved into the ground. Like kids on a treasure hunt, they dug around and unearthed a staircase leading to a sealed doorway complete with royal seals. Carter was over the moon. He zipped off a telegram to Lord Carnarvon, probably the 1920s equivalent of OMG, come quick, found something huge. Lord Carnarvon, along with his daughter, Lady Evelyn Herbert, landed in Egypt by November 23rd, 1922. They probably didn't even have time to unpack before rushing over to the site. On November 26th, Carter drilled a small peek hole in the sealed doorway and took a look-see by candlelight. When Carnarvon asked if he could see anything, Carter's reply was understated yet iconic. Yes, wonderful things. And wonderful they were. Stepping inside, they found an antechamber that looked like a showroom of ancient Egyptian IKEA, but way better. We're talking gilded couches, ornate chests, and statues that didn't come with a DIY assembly manual.
Ancient IKEA.
You guys ready? My talk has been blowing up, but it potentially could pull us apart.
I'm so sure every day.
You might need hitting that breaking point.
Lordy.
For a limited time, get Disney Plus at Hulu for just $4.99 a month for 3 months.
Say it again.
Bundle and save on insurance, the lickety-pickerty.
Swoon.
Swoons. Such majestic birds.
What?
Only pay for what you need.
Children's Tylenol. Dye-free natural apple flavor. Same trusted relief for pain and fever.
I'm using Adobe Photoshop to design a collage that features all that inspires me. Sometimes I change my mind about the aspect ratio, so I will fix this with generative
Stitch Fix sent me We Wander activewear, and my 16-year-old daughter, yeah, she's already claimed half the box.
Yo, I thought I heard that, but you know how you hear something, you're like, he didn't say that. Yes, he actually said that. You know what I mean? To imagine them again, I do the same thing sometimes. Them having furniture, sitting down on couches or different things like that. Wow. I have to remind myself of that sometimes. It's like, no, they actually they were very, very rich, a rich civilization. Wow.
Despite some ancient looters having a go at it, the treasures were largely untouched. Another sealed door hinted at even more goodies, and sure enough, it led to the burial chamber guarded by life-size statues. On February 16th, 1923, Carter cracked open the burial chamber in front of officials and some seriously lucky dignitaries. Inside, not one, not two, but 3 nested coffins, with the innermost one made of solid gold, housing the mummy of King Tut himself, complete with a snazzy golden mask. Over 5,000 artifacts were found alongside him, from snazzy jewelry to chariots. It was a peek into ancient Egyptian culture, turning the world.
So where is all that jewelry now? That's the question. Because you know how stuff likes to go missing from these tombs and different things like that. That's why a lot of times when they find things, they say a prayer first or be praying that everything hasn't been, you know what I mean, scavenged through, stolen and stuff like that. So where is all of that stuff that they pulled out of this tomb located now? It should be in a museum somewhere, I hope.
Into a bunch of Egyptology nerds overnight and leaving a mark on arts and culture worldwide. Now let's jet over to Peru in 1987. No time machines needed, just a flair for dramatic discoveries. Dr. Walter Alva and his squad, Susana Meneses de Alva and Ms.Chariot hit archaeological gold with the tomb of the Lord of Sipan. This was no small find. It's often tossed around in the same breath as Tut's discovery due to the sheer scale and richness. The story kicks off in a less glamorous fashion, with local authorities cluing in Dr. Alva about some tomb raiders. These real-life treasure hunters had stumbled upon a tomb near the town of Sipan at a site called Huaca Rajada. These looters, unfortunately, had already pocketed some artifacts that were centuries old, sparking disputes and signaling to Dr. Alva that something big was under those layers of dirt. By July 20th, 1987, the team, with bated breath, uncovered the intact tomb of the Lord of Sipan. They found the remains of a man, about 5 feet 4 inches tall, who was probably in his prime, aged somewhere between 35 and 45 years old.
What was the average?
Hopefully, shit,
back then?
you won't do that.
Just based off here, you know, vibes with,
Yes, you
know,
do. You
what
supposed
they
to
found
dig.
this current person they're looking at, they're talking about, well, what was the average height back then? They probably look at us as like giants, maybe. You see a 7
That's
footer.
under the house. You don't
A
supposed to be
7
up under
footer
the
goes
house.
back in time
Supposed
around
to be
those
in the
times.
yard.
He'd probably be considered a
Dig
giant
around
back then.
the house,
You
not
know,
dig
Shaq
under
and
the
Yao
house.
Ming, somebody like that. I don't know. Just thoughts.
When he bid adieu to the living world. His resting place was nothing short of regal,
Yeah, you gotta
adorned
take the
with
club
gold
on
and
this
silver
bitch.
jewelry,
Not
detailed ceramics, and ceremonial items that would make any antique collector weak
that's
at
too
the
much. I ain't
knees.
doing all that,
But
nigga.
the
I'll
Lord
take
of
you.
Sipan
I'll
wasn't
take you to the
resting alone.
country
His tomb
and throw
was
you
a
out
full
there.
house
Yeah,
of 3 young
exactly.
women,
I'm not gonna do all
2
that.
likely warrior types,
Tie
and a
some
child,
weights to your ass and
all
throw you in the
positioned
water.
as if they were meant to serve
Shit,
him
I ain't doing all
beyond the
that.
mortal coil.
All that.
There was
Now
even
they
a
motherfucker
third
making
man,
all that noise and
just chilling
shit.
in a
They gonna be
niche
wondering what's all that
overlooking the main
noise.
burial chamber.
Construction
So
Catch her
as
now. Hell nah.
if that wasn't enough, the
Somebody
plot
gonna find
thickens
that
over
soon.
the next couple of years. In 1988, a second tomb popped up. This one was believed to belong to a Moshe priest, decked out with a metal crown, sporting an owl design and a ceremonial cup. Fast forward to 1989, a third tomb surfaced. This one housing the old Lord of Sipan, possibly a maternal relative of our first VIP. From then until 2007, the site kept giving as 14 tombs were eventually mapped out, each spilling more secrets about the Mochi society and their burial customs. To keep these treasures safe and sound, the Royal Tombs of Sipan Museum was established in Lambayeki, swinging open its doors in 2002 with Dr. Alva at the helm as director. Meanwhile, across the world in China, another jaw-dropping discovery flipping the script to another epic quest. In 2005, Dominican archaeologist Kathleen Martinez decided to shake up the world a bit by hunting down the long-lost tomb of none other than Cleopatra VII, the celebrity ruler of the Ptolemaic Kingdom of Egypt. Why Cleopatra? Well, Martinez wasn't just captivated by her story during her studies. She believed that all previous expeditions had missed some crucial clues. Her big idea, that Cleopatra, being a fan of the goddess Isis, would have picked a final resting place with that connection. Enter the temple of Taposiris Magna, about 25 miles west of Alexandria, smack dab in the middle of ISIS worship land. With a theory hot enough to stir some serious interest, Martinez managed to get the green light from Egyptian authorities to start digging at Taposiris Magna. What followed could only be described as a treasure trove of discoveries, but not the jackpot yet. The team unearthed coins stamped with Cleopatra's face, statues that would make any museum giddy, and a whole network of endless tunnels and tombs. And just when you think it couldn't get more intriguing, in 2022, they hit what was described as a geometric miracle, a tunnel stretching over 1,300 meters and buried 13 meters underground. As the digs continued, they didn't just stumble upon some old pottery. No, they found 16 burial chambers, loads of mummies patiently waiting for their stories to be told, and artifacts that screamed high society, like statues of Isis and a bust likely representing someone royal from the Ptolemaic times. These bits and bobs weren't just random finds. They pointed to Taposiris Magna being a hotspot back in Cleopatra's day.
I wonder will we be dug up like that? Like, centuries from now. Will they want to know so much about us? Maybe how we destroyed the planet? You know what I mean? Maybe what we were doing. You know,
Hey, it's true, gang. It's true. Cause we destroying this bitch. I can do what you say. We destroying the fuck out this house. This shit. We destroying it.
Or is it just
this shit? Cutting down trees. All this shit. And then goddamn animals going extinct.
Now, you might think finding all that stuff would lead to a big dramatic reveal where Cleopatra and her lover, Mark Antony, are found holding hands in the afterlife.
You probably used all your data.
The actual tomb of the power couple is still playing hard to get. Yet, Martinez is not the type to back down. She's quoted as saying, if there's a 1% chance that the last queen of Egypt could be buried there, it is my duty to search for her. So, the hunt continues. Over in China, the stakes were just as high, but it all started quite innocently. A group of local farmers near Xi'an was only looking to quench their thirst and their crops during a drought in 1974, when they stumbled upon fragments of clay. Little did they know, they were about to dig up a slice of history that would dazzle the world. They didn't just find a few archaeological bits and pieces either. They had stumbled across part of the legendary terracotta army. Sensing they had found something special, they quickly reported their find to the local authorities, which brought Chinese archaeologist Zhao Kangming to the scene. Zhao was the first to put the puzzle pieces together, identifying and reconstructing the fragments into life-size statues. Thanks to his sharp eye and quick thinking, what could have been overlooked as just more dirt in the dirt became a major discovery. With Zhao's discoveries, the archaeologists who followed were able to unearth an entire army crafted for the tomb of Qin Shi Huang, the first